Back-to-back braces by Tristan Traeger for Atlanta United. Two have given the Twos 4 points in their last two matches. Can he continue his hot hand or hot feet in a rivalry match? Birmingham Legion come to town. It's the USL Championship on ESPN Plus next. Time for some midweek action at the Fraction. It's the USL Championship on ESPN Plus. Atlanta United 2, 4 points in their last two matches, coming in with a record of 4-12-2, welcoming their rivals out of Birmingham. Legion coming in with a record of 7-5-4. Once again, sitting in for Jason Longshore, it's Tom Marshall hanging out here in the S Suite. Thanks for accessing us however you are doing so, and welcome to Atlanta United 2 and Rivals, Tom.
Thanks for having me back, John. Looking forward to this one. Nice evening here in Kennesaw, and I'm expecting it to be chippy tonight with these two.
No doubt about it. Let's take a look at the players in the spot shadowing for the flip side and the visitors for Birmingham Legion. Someone who has been trouble no matter where he's been for the opposition, Enzo Martinez in Birmingham.
Yeah, watch out for his creative passing, smart movement, and obviously the eye for goal that we saw last few days ago against Louisville City with that ridiculous goal. Atlanta United 2s will have to find a way to stop him.
On the flip side for Atlanta United 2, we mentioned Tristan Traeger and his brace last time out against El Paso, but someone's got to get the ball to him, and it's been Robbie Mertz.
Exactly. It seems like it's always Robbie Mertz. I mean, the consistency with his performances, the way he takes the ball under pressure, and then that ability to break lines, I think has seen him have an outstanding season so far.
And let's see if it continues tonight against Birmingham. That's your early preview. 17s are here on a hot night in Kennesaw when we come back starting 11s in the first 45. Birmingham Legion and Atlanta United 2, the USL Championship on ESPN Plus. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truest, together for better.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
You wouldn't put your team on the same field as the pros. So why would you take them to the same doctor? From growth plates to emotional needs, teens are different than adult athletes. Take them where they're treated that way.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare, to give you a better, seamless, more unified experience, so you can simply access and manage your care all in one place, with tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime, and even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont, real change lives here.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truest, together for better.
Welcome back to Kennesaw. Getting ready for the first 45. There's the procession with both teams heading out to the center of the pitch. Let's take a look at the starting 11s. A couple of notes for Birmingham. First and foremost, no Tom Sohn tonight with his red card. No Mikey Lopez, no Jake Roof. Tom, what do you see with this lineup?
I think they're a bit short on the bench for that very reason. I think the big change is in goal though. Spangenberg coming in for his first start of 2022. A rare start, so a bit of pressure on him tonight, I think.
No doubt about that. When it comes to Cano Smith, he'll be on the touchline as he was after the Tom Sohn red last time out. We'll keep an eye on Spangenberg between the sticks for Birmingham Legion. For Atlanta United, too, when we look at their lineup, only a couple of changes from the El Paso match, but they're at the back.
Yeah, I think for Tiente, obviously he's on trial at Atlanta United 2s right now. I think it's a big game for him. Usually plays in midfield, but tonight playing on the left side of a 3-man defence. And aside from that, I think that the front kind of 7 players, I think Jack Collington has been able to find some consistency, and in recent weeks I think we've seen positive performance in part because of that.
That's your lineup for Atlanta United 2. Reminders, once again, no more Andy Sullins. He headed to the University of Virginia. No more Grant Howard, one of the stalwarts at the back. He's headed to Virginia Tech. There's the man in the middle tonight, Deshaun Beard. Your ARs, Ben Regal and Sarah Gaddis. The 4th official tonight holding up the boards will be Amin Hadzic. So we'll be keeping an eye on what Mr. Beard has to say through his thoughts and with his whistle tonight here in Kennesaw. Temperatures, the heat index was north of 100 degrees at points. We will be having a hydration break in the first half. That we do know, probably around the 30th minute. Still wondering if we're going to be having one in the second half here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. We're underway. Atlanta United in their dress blacks for home. They're going to be working their way from right to left as you are watching the action here in the midweek. And they're visiting red kits. It is Birmingham Legion. They're going to be working their way from left to right. Johnny Dean, very impressive so far. Gets past Highmar. Lays it off to the right, just inside the 6. Defended by Efren Morales. An early chance there for Birmingham.
Great stuff from Efrain Morales then. They're coming back, getting in front of the ball and sending it out for a corner.
Bruno Lapa will take. Ryan James is there to accompany. Now Lapa will leave it for James. So for Ryan James, an in-swinger with the left toward the top of the 6. Morales heads it up into the air. Arivo thought about taking a swing at it, pulls it back. Traeger there to defend for Atlanta United 2. Traeger pestering Arivo, sent back inside the 18, headed and right on. Easy grab there for Justin Garces. Quickly out to David Mejia. Heavy touch. Jackson Conway will hang on to it. Tries to get past Arivo, and he does. Center line drop back to it. Johnny Fortune. Highmar with some room. Leaves for Darwin Mateus. Mateus around Johnny Dean. And the flag is up. Offside, so we get our first whistle here 1 minute and 40 seconds in. Let's take a look at the Marshall plan for tonight. Keys for the game as we kind of piece things together, and it's 2x2. So what did you have in mind tonight for your keys?
I think for Atlanta United 2's patience in possession. I fully expect the team from Georgia to have the majority of the ball. It's important that they don't overcommit players forward because this Birmingham side are quite direct. They move the ball quickly, and especially this front 4. If they're one-on-one, then they're gonna cause damage. I think also up front, Jackson Conway and Traeger been revelation in recent games. It's the energy they bring, the movement, the pressing out of possession, and providing an outlet for the team. But more than anything, John, it's the goals. I mean, these guys have produced goals in the last couple of weeks, so definitely need those to fire. For Birmingham, this is an experienced backline for Atlanta United. Tiente coming in at left centre back. He usually plays in midfield. Obviously Noah Cobb's 16 years old, and then Efrain Morales has kind of been shifted from midfield and into the back line and vice versa. So I think that's an element that this Birmingham team will want to be attacking. And I think just to forget the weekend, going down to Louisville City, obviously a very good team, but the way they did it, losing a late penalty, which is slightly controversial maybe, I just think they need to flick the switch and kind of get the heads in this game tonight.
Trying to do that here as we are early in the 4th minute. You saw the chance from Anderson Asiadu. And they're going to call a foul there on Zachary Arivo as he was trying to challenge Darwin Mateus for the ball. Good first touch by Jack Collison to bring it back in play. So it'll be a free kick for Tiente to bring it once again for possession.
Looks desperate to get on there, Jack.
Well, Jack, he wants to get things up and moving pretty quickly. And so he introduced the ball to Tiente. post haste. And then there's a look at Jack Collison wearing the dress white tonight on a very, very hot night here in Kennesaw.
Interesting to see Enzo Martinez playing on the left wing with Lapa inside as the number 10. I assumed that Martinez would be in that number 10 role tonight.
Give him time. He'll probably be all over the place by the time we're done here. Enzo Martinez tied for the team lead in goals with Prosper Kasim with 4. Flag is up once again as Traeger tried to lay it off for Darwin Mateus. And the bench that you mentioned for Birmingham, very, very thin. One of the substitutes is Matt Van Okel, but it is only a 5-man bench tonight with the Charleston match coming up on the weekend. Having played Louisville in Louisville, having to come back to come to Atlanta for this rivalry game. So your travel goes Louisville, Birmingham, Birmingham, Atlanta, and then you've got Charleston on the weekend. Very thin bench with the substitute, with the suspension of Mikey Lopez and Roof with the knock. So it's a thinnest of thin benches tonight for Cano Smith.
It is. I think the key there, I think there is quality on the bench. Obviously a lack of sheer numbers, but they won't want to be getting any injuries in the first half or anything, or red cards and stuff like that. But I still think a player like Kazim, a player like Aguedello with the experience and what he's done previously, even at national team level, I think they have got the ability to impact off the bench. It's just he doesn't want to be making early subs for any other reason.
Those two names are definitely going to be the ones that fans are going to be circling as to those substitutions, hopefully in the second half if you're a fan of Birmingham Legion. Pass for Lapa. Johnny Fortune got in the way of it, found Darwin Mateus. Mateus trying to get past Erivo and Asiadu, and he does not. Bruno Lapa once again with possession for Birmingham here halfway through the 6th minute. Marlon Santos, Tiente there to defend off of Tiente, and it'll be the 3rd corner here in the first 6+ minutes, or the first 5+ minutes for Birmingham. So it's another chance for Birmingham early on.
I think we saw Marlon there running at Tiente. I think he'll be looking to do that really early, knowing that the opposite number is lacks experience at this level.
Tiente comes from Georgia Gwinnett College and spent some time in the UPSL before his time here on trial with Atlanta United 2. 3 matches and only 16 minutes so far. Headed down, poked up into the air once again. Morales was there. Garces tried to go for the punch. Enzo Martinez stood in the way of it, last touched by Garces, and it'll be corner number 4.
Changing goal tonight for Atlanta United 2s as well, with Justin Garces coming in after Vicente Reyes' really good performance the other evening.
9th start of the year for Garces with a record of 3-5-0, goals against of 213. In swinger with the right, up in the air, headed away by Tiente. Erivo gets it just outside the 18, chip toward the top of the 6th. Mertz is there this time, headed up and not out. Asiadu fires, and it goes up and over everything. Goal kick. Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. Choose what you play with at www.selectsportamerica.com. Select League's Choice, Player's Choice. Fired forward to Traeger. Jackson Conway settles, center circle. Mateus tries to get away from Erivo. Not enough on it as he was looking for Jackson Conway. And a foul on a Johnny Fortune as he knocks over Bruno Lapa. And there is the first conversation of the night with Deshaun Beard. With both, it looked like Fortune and Mateus. Let's see how Beard will be with his conversations going forward. Dean up the right side. Marlon gets past Tiente. Edge of the 18, into the middle, and into the net just like that. Enzo Martinez. Goal on the board for Birmingham Legion. It's Enzo Martinez, 5th on the year, early in minute number 9, and it's 1-0 to the visitors.
It's a great run by Marlon, straight past Tiente there. A really good low cross to the back post. Enzo Martinez coming off his goal from the other night with another one, and another early goal given up by Atlanta United 2s. Crucial that they respond now like they did on Saturday evening.
Down 1-0, and they were down 2-1 to El Paso Locomotive last time out. Atlanta United, too, is in the process of playing 5 matches in 14 days. That ends the 5th match in Tulsa this weekend for the Eastern Conference matchup at FC Tulsa on Saturday night. But 5 matches in 14 days.
Not easy with the travel involved as well.
Through ball looking for Conway. Cronjali will get there first, getting it back to Trevor Spangenberg. Big hop on the first one. Won by Morales. Second ball won by Birmingham. Enzo Martinez on the left. Sweeping ball looking down the middle. And Tiente was there for the twos. Cobb, Mejia. Mertz tries to flick it to get past Asiadu. Anderson tracks it down, finds Zachary Arivo.
Just struggling at the minute, Atlanta United to string passes together, playing out from the back, but just not able to put longer sequences of passes together.
Heimar defending Johnny Dean. Dean regains possession. In with the right, looking back post. Enzo is there. Swatted down. Bruno Lapa with the chance, but in front of it all was Justin Garces.
I think you can see why Enzo Martinez is playing off the left here, making those diagonal runs into the back post and already causing problems, not just with the goal, but with a good cross there, almost an assist.
Heimar back to Tiente. Garces and Morales. Efren Morales finds Heimar. Great ball there down the left-hand side. Coming in centrally, cutting it back. Kavita was there, as the look was for Jackson Conway, but Atlanta United 2 will regain possession. Mertz and Heimar back to Tiente and a Johnny Fortune.
Great ball that from Efraim Morales, switching play wide to Heimar.
Tiente took a peek over his left shoulder, found Robbie Mertz close by. Mertz, Lapa defending him. Heimar through 2 Legion players to a Johnny Fortune, gets it back, and possession maintained back to Efren Morales.
You can see Birmingham Legion here, they're obviously 1-0 up early on, and they're quite comfortable to take the time to sit back a little bit and wait for Atlanta United to make mistakes in possession.
David Mejia fighting with Ryan James, kept possession. Arivo, looks like they're going to get a foul there on Birmingham. Now, we mentioned this as a rivalry with these two clubs, but it has been one-sided when it comes to wins and losses. 6 of the 7 matches have been won by Birmingham Legion. Atlanta United 2 has the 1 draw. That was 2-2 back in August of last year, but it has been very one-sided in favor of Birmingham Legion on the scoreboard and in the conference standings at the end of the night with these two clubs.
Yeah, for sure. I think you can see the different philosophies of the two clubs as well. Obviously, Birmingham Legion bringing in players that have already done well in this league, whereas Atlanta United, the youngest team in USL, and obviously more of a development platform for these young players.
Heimar looking for the long throw. Gains more momentum as he comes off of the cement surface here at Fifth Third. Tries it again. Here's round 2. Into the 18. Looking for Traeger. Arivo was there to defend. Heimar trying to regain possession away from Marlin. And it's going to go to Birmingham. But with what we know from Atlanta United, here's an opportunity for Atlanta to press into a corner and try to regain possession quickly. Kavita wanted to let it go all the way back to Spangenberg, but had to act on it, and it ends up going straight to Tony Tiente. Looking for Jackson Conway just outside the arc, ends up with David Mejia. Mejia back to Noah Cobb. Cobb back to Efren Morales. All the way over to his left and Tiente. Justin Garces. Mertz and Morales. Morales looking for Jackson Conway. Darwin Mateus is there. He gets away from Criniale. He's got some room. Traeger now in control. Pushes it forward, but Johnny Dean is there for Birmingham Legion. It'll be a throw for Atlanta United 2. Good rush there offensively for the Twos here early in the 15th.
Good move there from Jackson Conway. Darwin Mateus with a nice ball out, and I think Traeger just misplaced his pass there, else it was a really good opportunity. Really opened up Birmingham Legion there.
Noah Cobb, center circle, looking for Johnny Fortune as Anderson Asiadu steps forward. Ends up back with Atlanta United 2. Garces inside the arc, looking for Mejia. It's going to be a throw for Birmingham Legion. Ryan James looking for a ball to throw, and he's going to have to end up getting one from Justin Garces behind the net. So let's see if Ryan James is pretty close to where the ball went out. Back and forth with Asiadu. David Mejia defending. Once again, Mejia thought that James was last to touch. Be another throw for Legion, working their way down here early in the 16th minute. Goal by Enzo Martinez in the 9th minute has given us the 1-0 scoreline that we've got right now.
Not in any rush to take these throw-ins and free kicks. It's still quite hot here in Kennesaw.
Toward the top of the 6th, headed and just over the bar. That close to 2 on the board for Birmingham.
Decent opportunity there for Birmingham Legion. You can see through all the big men forward there in search of the headed goal.
When you got someone the size of Alex Criniale, it's a definite target if you're Birmingham. Traeger. Manuel Cavita trying to work Traeger backwards into a turnover, and he does. Enzo Martinez. Centrally to Bruno Lapa. Johnny Dean charging down the middle. Tony Tiente was there. Lapa winds, and it will go wide, trickling wide. And it'll be a goal kick once again. Another turnover by Atlanta United 2. Another close chance there for Birmingham.
Yes, a tough one for Tiente, obviously coming in as a trialist and playing in a position that isn't your own. Obviously, other circumstances have meant that Jack Collinson has put him there, but this is what it's all about, stepping up and doing the job. And I think he just needs to place a few nice passes and get his confidence up in what remains of the game.
Asiadu looking for Lapa. Darwin Mateus trying to step in and get it. Legion with 3 players right there in the middle. Horvat, Lapa, and now Asiadu. Looking for Marlin. Highmar racing back to defend. And it's going to be a throw for Birmingham Legion once more. About 13 minutes or so away from the thought of hydration break here in the first half. Temperatures were in the mid-90s. Looking to get into the high 80s, obviously, and as the shade from the press area and the normal seats ends up giving more and more shade as the night goes along, should be into the high 80s by the time that we're done.
You can definitely see, obviously, Atlanta United 2's had a really difficult game against El Paso Locomotive on Saturday. Put a lot of effort into it, pressing high. Showed a lot of character to come from behind twice. At the minute, though, they're looking slightly leggy after so many games in such a short period of time.
Johnny Dean up the right. Poked up into the air. Robbie Mertz gets it. Here comes Darwin Mateus. Mateus has Traeger in front of him. Has to curl his run. Mateus gets past Criniale. Looking toward the 6, and there to defend was Ryan James. Chance for the Twos, and it's going to be Atlanta United 2 keeping possession there. Let's take another look at it.
think Atlanta United 2 so far have looked best when Darwin Mateos has been able to turn, running at goal, causing all sorts of problems for the defence. And again, just a yard or two misplaced pass by 1 or 2 yards, and it would have been a really good chance there for Traeger.
Traeger left it for Fortune. Birmingham pounces on it, working their way out of their own defensive third. Anderson Asiadu trying to go long, and it was too long, looking for Horvat. Garces is there, and he gives it to Tiente quickly. Two-man game with Robbie Mertz. Back to a Johnny Fortune. Highmar. Dean closes ground. So Highmar will go all the way back to Garces, and they'll reset it from the back. Horvat in pursuit. Forward with the left, but Zachary Arivo is there, and he's got about 5 yards, closed nicely, but they're going to call a foul on Tristan Traeger. Quick restart. Arivo trying to get it to Enzo Martinez, and Martinez can't save it. Goes over the end-line goal kick. Trying to catch Atlanta United too. You mentioned that legginess is there. Jackson Conway can't save that. It'll be a throw.
It's just not quite clicking at the minute. When they're playing out the back, when the defenders have the ball, and just, I don't know, it's not as clean as it should be in playing it out.
James looking to throw it in, finds Horvat. Horvat to Enzo Martinez. Johnny Dean with space. Marlin cuts around Highmar. Hit it twice with his own cleat. And the second time it hit his boot, it popped into the air and ended up working its way for Atlanta United 2. Highmar, Conway gets around Fenwell Kavita. Ball into the middle. David Mejia, if he can track it down, has a chance here. Couldn't quite come up with it. Now Anderson Asiadu, but Robbie Mertz is there. Well done by the captain to keep possession. Mateus gets past Enzo Martinez, but it ends up with Zachary Arivo.
Read the play really well there, Robbie Mertz, to cut out the ball and send Atlanta United 2s on another attack.
Dean back to Crugnale.
You can see when Darwin Mateus, Conway, Traeger are running at the Birmingham Legion defence, that's where Atlanta United 2s have looked most dangerous so far. It's just putting them in positions when they can do that.
Asiadu couldn't get it cleanly, but Ryan James tracks it down, gets it back to Anderson Asiadu into Arivo. Arivo, after those couple of folks hit the floor, and it goes out. Last touch by Horvat as he was challenging Efren Morales for it. It's going to be a throw for Atlanta United 2 here early in the 23rd.
Garces playing as a kind of sweeper keeper tonight, coming forward, becoming that extra centre back.
And for those who haven't seen Atlanta United 2 with any great regularity, that's standard for the goalkeepers in this system. Confident work with their feet and almost acting like that extra man at the back.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's kind of the club philosophy to play out the back, and the goalkeeper's obviously such an important part of that these days.
Noah Cobb. David Mejia. 3 players closing on Mejia. Cobb working it up the right, looking for Darwin Mateus. Fenwell Kavita is there to defend.
Did well Kavita to stay on his feet, to stand up to Darwin Mateus.
Bruno Lapa over to Johnny Dean. Marlin trying to get around Tiente. He stood up. Fenwell Kavita directing traffic. Crugnale looking for James, found David Mejia instead. Kavita up to the 3rd floor. He found Lapa. Lapa with the crane kick, basically. Found Enzo Martinez on the left-hand side. James back to Lapa. Asiadu. And back to Fenwell Kavita.
See Jack Collinson on the touchline demanding just a little bit more intensity.
Horvat to Marlin. Marlin, Enzo with the header, and it's just wide. That close to 2 on the board as we're late in the 24th minute. Another chance for Birmingham Legion, and down is Marlin right now inside the 18. Let's take another look at this chance from Birmingham.
Once again, Marlin did absolutely everything right, and I tell you what, you'd back Enzo Martinez, free header from just in front of the penalty spot. You'd back him to put that in the back of the net. Let off there for Atlanta United 2s.
So Marlin down on hands and knees right now, and here comes the physio for Birmingham. Once again, reminder about the bench. Very, very thin position players. Prosper Kasim, Matthew Corcoran, the 16-year-old, Grayson DuPont, and Juan Aguedello. That's it. Plus Matt Van Okel for Spangenberg. But that's it right now. That's it tonight for Birmingham Legion and for Kano Smith. Let's take another look and see if we can find out what happened here.
It looks to be a non-contact injury. Didn't see any Atlanta United 2 player near him there. So
he was trying to put on the brakes, and it looked like his legs kind of slid out from underneath him a little bit. He's back up on his feet now, and that's a good sign.
Marlon's been really good tonight. He's done exactly what's been asked of him. Very direct.
And so the hydration break that was scheduled for roughly the 30s, we're going to go ahead and take it right now halfway through the 25th minute. And this gives Jack Collison that chance. It's almost like a timeout. It gives Jack Collison a chance to catch up with his guys. But, you know, we mentioned hydration. This is the ultimate hydration. This week at practice for Atlanta United 2. Practice is over. You have a water balloon fight. How about that?
Can't beat that, can you? That's what it's all about.
And especially, you know, when you're having fun at the end of a day, when you practiced, with this being the stretch of play that it's been, when you play in Oakland on June 25th, you fly across country to play Charleston, then you've got El Paso, then you have this. That to me is just, it's something that's, you know, we talk about team unity, all these kinds of things. It's just one of those moments that you sit there and you bring with you about all your teammates here.
For sure. I mean, you know, we go on about this Atlanta United 2s team, average age around 20, 21, and it's like a lot of them are kids. They've got to enjoy this. They've got to enjoy playing here. They've got to enjoy the training ground over there in Marietta. I mean, it's a beautiful facility.
I want to know who won. We got to ask Jack who won this fight.
My money's on Jackson Conway.
Okay, and it looks like it's all one-on-ones. You see, I think it was Efren Morales trying to throw a fastball at Luke Brennan there. But I think probably Jack Collison was the one who won, to be perfectly honest. No matter what team he was on, Jack Collison was the one who won.
Yeah, no one wants to mess with Jack. I think you're being waved at there, John, by some of your friends in the crowd.
Am I?
Celebrity around these parts.
Yeah, you. No, it's great to see the 17s out here tonight on a rather warm evening. Great support up here in Kennesaw for Atlanta United 2. And we're back underway after the hydration break.
I think Jack Collinson would have said just that little bit more intensity, a little bit more speed, especially off the ball, to be honest, just a bit more quicker, getting quicker to the tackle, I think. Although it is difficult, like we keep banging on about how many games they played recently.
Mm-hmm. And after this, it's Tulsa on the weekend, and you're leaving here. It's not a home match. You're going to FC Tulsa to play at 1OK. Shot from a long distance, that time by Jackson Conway. It was wide of the near post here late in the 28th.
I do think he will have said, and we just saw, a shot from outside the area there. I think Jack Collinson might well have said, Spangenberg in net, first game of 2022, let's test him. And I don't think Atlanta United 2 so far have done that. In fact, I don't think they've scored a goal from outside the area all season, if I remember rightly.
Go ahead and challenge the guy between the sticks. You saw Kano Smith there for Tom Sohn, his lead assistant. Sohn, remember, with the red card last time out. Pushing David Mejia forward. Laid off Mateus. He'll want to wind up with the left. Challenging Spangenberg, and Kavita will clear. There's what you were talking about, challenging Trevor Spangenberg from distance.
Yeah, a great move as well to slice Birmingham Legion open, and Mateus Darwin struck the ball really well. And we saw that. I mean, that's the first real save he's had to make in the 29th minute, and he kind of spilled it a little bit. I mean, if there's a striker there a bit closer, then it would have been a 1-1.
So Darwin Mateus will take. Zaragattis keeping an eye down the end line. It'll be an in-swinger with the left. Lays it off short just instead. Mertz toward the top of the 6th. Headed out by Lapa. David Mejia had possession. Last touch by Enzo Martinez, who challenged him for the ball. It's going to be a throw for Highmar here in the 30th. And I know that as you're watching, we'll talk about it after this play. Highmar looking for Jackson Conway once again. But you'll notice the grass here at 5th third as Atlanta United 2 sets up for a corner. And it's the annual transition for those of you that don't know. It's the annual transition from ryegrass to Bermuda. And you see the patches. You see how it's coming in down the center of the pitch. And the holes are filling in. But for all of the events that happen here late summer, early fall, and in the fall and winter for Kennesaw State University, it's the transition from rye to Bermuda. So that's why the grass is the way it looks, even though it has gotten better over the last handful of weeks. David Mejia to Tiente. Mejia took a look, looking far post, up and over everybody, goal kick.
It's better though, this from Atlanta United 2. He's moving the ball from side to side, looking more threatening over the last 10 minutes or so. Definitely seem to have found a bit of groove now.
Johnny Dean gets past Highmar, and a foul on Highmar, pushing the back, and it's going to be a card on Highmar here in the 31st minute. So for Highmar, that is his 3rd yellow of the season. Take another look at it from behind, and right there, the clicking of the heels, it looked like.
Yeah, I don't think he can complain there. Obviously, the Legion and Dean were on a counter-attack.
But now for the next 60 minutes or however many minutes Highmar is in the match, he's got to play with this yellow. He's got to play within himself, as integral as he is for Atlanta United 2. And let's see how he plays with this yellow on the books.
For sure, and there's not a natural substitute on the bench either.
Whiff by Crinale. The speed of Darwin Mateus. He's got Conway to his right. Cuts it back. Tries to work his way around. Crinale to the left, and he has to pull it back just outside the 6. Poked into the goal mouth and cleared once again by Ryan James. Transition chance for Atlanta United 2. That close to equalizing.
Darwin Mateus so far has been the difference maker in terms of he's making things happen in that final third. And there I thought he kind of overrun it a little bit. I thought the chance had gone, but he still found the ball into a really dangerous position in the box.
Mertz found Traeger. Goes over the touchline. It'll be a throw for Legion. Take another look at it.
I thought he might have shot there just as he pushed it out onto his favoured left side, but he comes back round, and yeah, unfortunately none of the Atlanta United 2 strikers read that ball into the 6-yard box.
Last touch by Legion that time, so it'll be a throw for Atlanta United 2 in front of the Legion bench. Trying to work quickly. And working too quickly. Too quickly for Deshaun Beard's liking. So Highmar will try it again here late in the 33rd. Looking for Conway as Siadu stepped in the way, gained possession for Birmingham. Nice ball to Enzo Martinez. Martinez surveying Mejia and a Johnny Fortune. Mejia gets the ball away from him. He and Erivo almost come together. Ball ends up working its way through to Highmar. Looking for Mejia, but Kavita was there. James, Lapa, and Erivo. Over to Johnny Dean on the right. Past Highmar, looking for Horvat. Horvat tries a way to send it to himself. with the flick, and it was last touched by Efren Morales. It's going to be a deep throw for Birmingham Legion here. Lapa trying to help out Johnny Dean as a target. Finally gets it. Johnny Dean gets it back through Highmar. Tiente's there as the second defender. Nice ball there by Mateus. Traeger finally finds it off his left hip.
Great run that from Traeger. I think that's what he's brought to the team in terms of not just the goals, but he's giving the players in possession an option.
Fortune through ball. Mateus slides slipping, and it ends up right with Trevor Spangenberg.
Great ball through by Fortune there, and I think Darwin Mateus will be slightly disappointed. It looked like he kind of rushed that chance a little bit. He could have squared the ball as well, I feel.
Noah Cobb anticipated that very well. Enzo Martinez fouled by David Mejia, it looks like.
But much, much better this. I feel like the Birmingham Legion had the best of the first 20 minutes.
And then the hydration break happened.
And Atlanta United have been totally the better team since then, I feel.
There's that chance from Mateus as he was sliding to the turf here, to the surface here. It's not quite turf. I have to say turf and grass. Fortune gets there before Lapa does. Mertz overruns. Asiadu, too much looking for Enzo Martinez, goal kick. Playoff battles begin to heat up as two playoff hopefuls meet on ESPN Deportes. Rio Grande Valley welcomes the Las Vegas Lights to Southern Texas Sunday, July 17th at 7:30 Eastern Time on ESPN Deportes. And that is a trek, having to go from Las Vegas down to Edinburgh, Texas. No foul there by Ryan James. David Mejia down. James looking far post, up and over Tiente, looking for Marlin. Too much, goal kick. Another quick transition there for Birmingham. Atlanta United 2 fans wanted a foul call, didn't get it.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what the Birmingham Legion and now we're going to be looking for. Like we talked about in the intro, the Atlanta United, as they force the game, as they search for that equaliser, and they're overcommitting themselves a little bit, and then the Legion to hit on the break. That's exactly what they'll be looking for now.
The Johnny Fortune. Quickly to Mertz. Mertz to Mateus. Erivo steps forward. Bruno Lapa now for Birmingham. Marlin. Back to Erivo. Asiadu. Thought about Enzo Martinez. Now the 1-2 with Erivo. And Asiadu just brings it back to Craniale. Over to Johnny Dean. Traeger closed the distance. Zachary Erivo was there. Ends up with Horvat. Horvat with the left. It's wide all the way. Far post, goal kick. Once again, the goal in the 9th minute's been the difference so far. Enzo Martinez, his 5th of the season. 2 in the last 2 matches. The goal on the board in the loss to Lou City. Now the goal tonight. Enzo now leading Birmingham in scoring. That's been the difference so far in this rivalry game between Birmingham Legion and Atlanta United 2. Coming up at the half, we'll take the tour around the USL Championship. Team of the week with some familiar faces if you're fans of Atlanta United 2. Look at some things that you, the fan of the USL Championship, can vote on through tomorrow at noon and Friday at noon. Golden Week, Save of the Week, all the other news that you need to know. Marlin lets it go. Johnny Dean tries to get it inside the 6. Tiente is there for another corner for Birmingham.
Yeah, Tiente did well there to get back, make the block. Looked like a really dangerous attack with an overlap there on the right-hand side for the Birmingham Legion.
So Ryan James once again. Highmar there defending for Atlanta United 2. What does James have in mind here early in the 39th minute? High in swinger, far post, Kavita. Enzo Martinez wanted to do something with it. Jackson Conway got there first. Asiadu has to track it down. He'll go all the way back to Trevor Spangenberg. A Johnny Fortune on a full run, trying to disrupt Spangenberg. Sends it down the middle of the park to Efren Morales.
If that's what fortune brings, I mean, that was a long run from defence, but he's doing that work in the midfield constantly.
Mejia toward the top of the 6. James was there to head it away. Mateus was looking for a partner, and Bruno Lapo was there for Birmingham on a break. Center circle, down the middle of the park. He's got Enzo Martinez to his left. That's where he goes. Noah Cobb. Enzo defended nicely there by Morales to get it out of the 6, but it's going to be another corner for Birmingham here. Another push by Legion. That close to another goal on the board in minute 40.
Good stuff as well from Efrain Morales defensively there. But again, it's Enzo Martinez who's causing a high percentage of trouble basically for Atlanta United 2's. Constant thorn in the side.
And that is Enzo Martinez's MO, no question. So James will take. This one will be a left-footed outswinger. You see where the target is. You see the tall timber for Legion. Tries to go near post, headed away by Tiente. It's going to go all the way out to center circle and Johnny Dean. Head 1-2. Enzo Martinez settles it down just outside the 6. Efrain Morales got in the way. Erivo a second chance. Morales a second knockaway outside the 18. And Anderson Asiadu battling with Jackson Conway. Here come the 2s. Mejia thought about the big switch. Back to Tristan Traeger. Traeger's got reinforcements off to his left. Erivo tried to disrupt him. Heimar cuts it back. Robbie Mertz winds, saves Spangenberg. Asiadu is there, goes back to Spangenberg, and he's got to send it away with a right.
Good save that from Spangenberg. Solid wrist. Robbie Mertz with Atlanta United 2's best opportunity there. Good
Heimar, Mertz, right there.
Good game now. It seems to be nice and open.
And after that timeout / hydration break in the 25th, it took Atlanta United 2 a little while to get into this one. And the talk at the hydration break seems to have kind of turned things more evenly here in the last 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the last couple of Birmingham Legion attacks, it's Atlanta United that have given the ball away a little bit cheaply up front or in midfield, and that's obviously allowed Birmingham Legion to hit on the transition.
Looping throw, and that's going to be a foul on Mateus and a yellow. Erivo had some space and possession of the ball. It's going to be a card on Darwin Mateus. And so for Darwin, that is his 3rd yellow on the year right here. Take another look at it.
Yeah. Can't really complain.
Right there,
definitely caught his heel.
Yep.
And I think it was the run as well. He just got behind him, and then once he'd got a couple of strides ahead, Darwin obviously made the decision and took the yellow.
And so now the physio out to take a look at Zachary Erivo. And that personifies the evening right there. All of those paper plates that have now been turned into fans. And I do not blame any of those individuals one bit on a hot, thick, steamy, pick your summer adjective in the South night here in Kennesaw.
I could do with one of those paper plates myself, to be honest.
Well, I mean, we've got a fan here in the S suite, but you can't quite turn it on because then folks would hear it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a dilemma.
But no, and once again, great dedication to all the fans here. We have some Birmingham Legion fans here as well tonight here in Kennesaw that have made the 2.5-hour trip.
Yeah, it's always a good evening here in Kennesaw. Really nice stadium at Kennesaw State. And no weather delays tonight, which is so far, fingers crossed.
Thank you. Yeah, you've got to get the qualifier in there. It's so far. We can't do any broadcaster jinx material here. Yeah. So you have to always finish your sentence with the qualifier. So far. There's your summer skies. Thanks to everybody in the booth for all of the great pictures here tonight. That's what we're looking at here in Kennesaw. To the north, it is something akin to sunset. We do have some of those high thunder boomers that are off to the east, and may they stay as far east as possible. Set piece, Lapa looking up into the air. Conway, second ball, and a collision there. Marlin and Tiente. They're going to call the foul on Marlin, so it'll go to Atlanta United too. And Marlin's down again, I believe. Yep, Marlin's down for the second time.
Did well there, Tiente. Brave challenge. Needed to make it.
Here's your first header, and then the collision from Marlin on Tiente. And it looks like Marlin got a yellow for his troubles there here in the 45th. Looking up the left wing for Tristan Traeger, too much on it. So it'll be a throw for Birmingham Legion. Reintroduced, and 5 minutes are going to be added here because of the hydration break and a couple of injury breaks and injury reviews. So 5 minutes added here in the first 45. Birmingham with their goal in the 9th minute, leading 1-0. High ball, David Mejia tracking it down, trying to send it inside the area. Couldn't quite turn on it well enough, and as Ryan James was defending, it'll be a quick goal kick brought in by Spangenberg, left for Fanuel Kavita. Second ball won by Tiente, and a foul on Tiente. And the way that Marlin has been trying to stretch out here, and he's been down a couple times, wouldn't surprise me if Marlin might be substituted out by Cano Smith for the second 45. Obviously, we'll keep an eye on that. But
possibly I might give him another 15 minutes. I think he's been, when he gets on the ball, he's been so dangerous down that right-hand side. Might also just be taking a breather with these little injury breaks.
Yes. Noah Cobb trying to get it to Tristan Traeger. Crunale back there to defend. Traeger's speed forced Crunale to send it up to the 4th floor and out. It's going to be a throw for Atlanta United 2 here. Minute and a half into the 5.
Be interested to see if Jack Collinson thinks about bringing someone on at half-time or gives it a bit more time, especially in central midfield. With Fortune and Robbie Mertz obviously playing the last game, putting a lot of effort.
You're going to want to rely on them in Tulsa on the weekend too.
Exactly, and then on the bench you've got Nick Firmino. I think that could be a good option at some point early in the second half.
The Johnny Fortune, as we turn to the 48th minute here. Noah Cobb, marked by Enzo Martinez. Cobb cuts it centrally, had a lot of room. Now Johnny Fortune does too. Bruno Lapa lets the ball pass to the left. Highmar cuts it inside, looking far post, up into the air. And it looks like a foul on Tristan Traeger or Jackson Conway. So we're trying to get the ball on net halfway through the 5 minutes here. Let's take a peek. Yep, Conway right there with the push.
A bit of push. Jackson Conway's put a lot of effort in so far tonight. He's not really had a clean shot at goal so far. I think Jack Collinson will be looking to get a couple of chances his way in the second half.
Spangenberg looking for Lapa. Lapa wins first ball. Tiente won the second ball. Possession back and forth, and it's going to be a foul on Mertz on Arivo. So with about a minute 45 in added time here in the first 45. Let's see what Birmingham Legion have in mind. Pretty much everybody forward. Looks like it's Lapa and Ryan James. Jack Collison keeping a keen eye here. As the Twos try not to give up a second goal here before the intermission. Headed up into the air by a Johnny Fortune. Kavita will be there for the throw as he ushered it out. Bobby Mertz tried to track it down. So Ryan James will have the throw.
Sure, they're trying to get it in the box as quickly as possible with the seconds running down here.
Enzo Martinez trying to find any opening he can. James to Aravo. Back to Ryan James. Last touch by Mejia. Coming up on 30 seconds here in the first half. Lapa, Enzo Martinez gets it past Fortune. James sweeps in with the left, looking far post. Volleyed down and back through the goal mouth one more time. Hits the corner flag, and it's going to be a quick goal kick. So safe to say probably once this gets launched down the field, this will be the last possession here of the first half. Right on mark at 5 minutes, Deshaun Beard blows his whistle, and that is your first 45. So after the goal, what'd you think?
I thought Atlanta United 2s did well to come back. I think they're lacking just that little bit, that final ball. I think they've had some decent opportunities, been in decent positions, but still lacking that killer pass so far.
And we'll take a look and see what Tom thinks about the second 45 coming up around the corner. But when we come back to Kennesaw, we'll take your tour around the USL Championship, let you know what else is going on. Birmingham Legion, 1 goal on the board. That's the lead. 1-0 at the break. It's the USL Championship on ESPN+. Halftime coming up just around the corner. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truist, together for better.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
You wouldn't put your team on the same field as the pros. So why would you take them to the same doctor? From growth plates to emotional needs, teens are different than adult athletes. Take them where they're treated that way.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare. To give you a better, seamless, more unified experience. So you can simply access and manage your care all in one place. With tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime. And even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont. Real change lives here.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truist, together for better.
Welcome back to Kennesaw. A lot of stuff going on here in USL Championship, so let us start the tour right now. Things that you can do as a fan in the USL Championship. You can go to the website and vote on Goal of the Week and Save of the Week. Goal of the Week, Yabel Perez in the 7-goal thriller with Atlanta United 2 in Charleston. That was the last goal on the board, so Yabel Perez was a part of it as well. Cameron Dunbar will be coming up as our next Goal of the Week nominee. Cameron Dunbar for Los Dos against Oakland. Great build-up from Josh Drack. And Cameron Dunbar with touches from Cabral and Barry puts it in the back of the net. So Cameron Dunbar, you see touch 1, 2, 3, through it all, and there it is. And in the back of the net, Cameron Dunbar. Sasha Kleshton, he dug that. Your next Haji Berry. We seem to be doing this a lot with Haji Berry in his time at Colorado Springs. You see right there with the right. Well done. Picked out the top right corner from 20 in the 3-0 win for the Switchbacks in downtown Colorado Springs at Widener Field. Enzo Martinez, we mentioned Enzo's goal that tied the match with Lou City before Birmingham would lose 2-1. Enzo sets it up, buries it. That's number 4. And then Milan Olaski from Orange County SC, the championship Golden Boot leader currently, goes between 2 defenders, 35 yards from goal. Precise finish from Milan Olaski. Those are your 5. For Goal of the Week, go to uslchampionship.com and vote. You have until Thursday at noon to do so. Guess what? You've got until Friday at noon to figure out Save of the Week. And Save of the Week, we got to show defense. We can't just show offense. Luis Zamudio saves the PK right there. So fans' choice for Save of the Week, that's your first one from Luis Zamudio from Loudoun United. Your second nominee, Evan Newton, Tristan Traeger chasing the hat trick. And Evan Newton got those big old hamburger helper mitts out, and then Luke Brennan with the follow. So it's basically a double save for Evan Newton to prevent the hat trick and prevent the third goal on the board for Atlanta United 2. Connor Sparrow from the Miami FC with the big save there. 6-save shutout for the Miami FC for a 1-0 win against Indy 11 at the Mike. So Connor Sparrow. Yannick Udall from Hartford. Second shutout in 4 appearances this year. Excellent one-on-one save to deny Mishi Ingalina. And then Alex Tambakis, familiar name to folks here in the Atlanta United footprint. Alex Tambakis with the kick save there. Crucial save late for the 1-1 draw at Cardinal. And that is your Goal of the Week, Save of the Week. You can vote at uslchampionship.com till Thursday at noon, Friday at noon, which leads us to Team of the Week. And guess what? Tristan Traeger, Player of the Week, brought to us by our friends at Konami eFootball. Robbie Mertz also on there. Familiar faces here in the Eastern Conference. You look at Lawrence White from Tampa, who's a part of it. Conardo Forbes is there as well. Joshua Winder on the defense for Lou City. Jake LaCava's there for Tampa Bay as well. Andre Lewis from Hartford Athletic. You also have some Western Conference representation from places like Los Dos, San Diego, and Orange County with Milan Ilaski. Player of the Week was Tristan Traeger. That's just a small bit of info that's going on around the USL Championship. Here's a small piece of what else you need to know in the USL Championship.
Those topics, I mean, yeah, let's talk about today we're going to go topics.
Roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to Sirius XM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on Sirius XM.
What?
This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Toros are in front. Header back across, swatted away by Miller.
Volley from Aquay. Wow.
What a wonderful team move for Las Vegas. And a goal from Trejo. Spectacular build-up. Alvaro Quezada, good feet. He's found the upper corner.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
Welcome back to Kennesaw. Our tour around USL Championship continues with Birmingham Legion up 1-0 at the break. News and notes and other info that you need to know about. Fancy full-screen graphic time. There you go. Dane Kelly started tonight for Pittsburgh. We'll give you a scoring update in just a little bit. He now becomes the championship's all-time regular season appearance leader with their matchup against Indy 11. Haji Berry, we showed you his Goal of the Week nominee. He scored 4 goals in 2 matches last week and now has 73 overall, top 3 all-time in the championship. And remember, Sacktown semifinal, Sacramento, 3 weeks' time, Sporting Kansas City in the U.S. Open Cup, July 27th on ESPN+. On the other side, it's Orlando City and Red Bulls. Take a peek at the standings coming into tonight. Lou City after that win at 36 points. Memphis 901 right there with them at 35. Tampa Bay had a bit of a hiccup. They've corrected things. 18 matches in there at 33. Detroit City, we've got an update on them in just a little bit. Pittsburgh, same. Birmingham, you're watching them. Miami, the Miami FC at 24 in 7th. Indy 11, they're a part of the scoring update. FC Tulsa, they play Atlanta United 2 on the weekend at 1 OK. Hartford Athletic currently in 10th at 15 points. Out west, San Antonio, great moment the other day with Matt Cardone retiring, bringing him in for the final 15 minutes. They are 13-3-1 on top in the west. Colorado Springs, they're outscoring everybody. San Diego Loyal, give you their update in just a little bit from a crazy game that they had. El Paso Locomotive, for those for Atlanta United 2, you saw them here last time out. Sacramento Republic, less games played because they're chasing that U.S. Open Cup semifinal. Los Dos in 6th. New Mexico United, they've only played 15 matches. They'll have some work to do, but with games in hand, they can get it done and climb the standings. Vegas Lights will be here at the end of the month. Oakland Roots, Atlanta United 2 played them out at Laney earlier a couple of weeks ago. RGV, who has played Atlanta United 2 this year, they're in 10th in the West. So, scoreboard. We mentioned the crazy game, San Diego Loyal and Colorado Springs. That was 3-2 madness in the downtown Colorado Springs. Phoenix Rising and OCSC. That one was at 2. Same with Loud United and FC Tulsa. Games tonight. We mentioned Dane Kelly played 60 minutes. Pittsburgh and Indy 11 are goalless after 71 at Highmark. Detroit City chasing another win in Hamtramck at Keyworth. They lead Hartford Athletic 1-0. 9 o'clock Eastern coming up just around the corner in about 20 minutes. It is New Mexico United at the Lab hosting RGV. So what about this weekend, you ask? Well, right there, Birmingham Legion, 1-0. That's your score at halftime. When we come back, we'll get you ready for the second 45, and Tom will come back, and he'll tell us what he knows as we get ready with Birmingham in a 1-0 lead. USL Championship, ESPN+. Stick and stay. We'll be right back for more.
BB&T and SunTrust are now truest, together for better.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
You wouldn't put your team on the same field as the pros. So why would you take them to the same doctor? From growth plates to emotional needs, teens are different than adult athletes. Take them where they're treated that way.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare. To give you a better, seamless, more unified experience. So you can simply access and manage your care all in one place. With tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime. And even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont. Real change lives here.
BB&T and SunTrust are now truest, together for better.
Welcome back to Kennesaw, getting ready for the second 45. Birmingham leading by the score of 1-0. We'll keep an eye on any kind of substitutions and stuff like that for a very hot match. Let's take a look at the first half highlights and how we got to this particular moment in time. There's the goal by Enzo Martinez in the 9th minute that made it 1-0. Close chance there by Lapa right on to Justin Garces. Had it tracked the whole way. And then you mentioned Darwin Mateus and what he was been able to do here in the first half.
Yeah, he's been a bright spark for Atlanta United twos in the attacking sense, and I think they'll be looking to get him on the ball as much as possible in the second half.
You mentioned how to challenge Trevor Spangenberg since he hasn't had the chance to get any regular reps. He had the big save there.
He's done quite well, to be fair to him. I think that Atlanta United twos we want him to push him a little bit more at this point.
So what about the Marshall plan? What do you see in the second 45 from what you thought coming in?
I think it's time to scrap it. No, it's I think Atlanta United the same. They've got to be patient in possession. They've had more of the ball, but even more so this second half. They've got to be calm on the ball. Can't be giving it away cheaply because that's where Birmingham Legion are going to hit them. Conway and Traeger, I think, want to see more from him, to be honest. I think you got to give credit to Birmingham Legion for keeping them quiet. I think the two centre backs for the Legion have been very good so far. And the Legion, I think the weekend they've flipped the switch from what happened against Louisville City, and the game is exactly where they want it to be right now. They don't concede a lot of goals. They've got their goal. They're 1-0 up, and they'll be looking to hang on and extend, I think, on the transition in the second half.
Substitutions have been made on both sides. We'll track them down for you. It looks like Eric Centeno is now in, and it looks like Highmar is out after 45 minutes. And it also looks like Matthew Corcoran is now in for Birmingham Legion as we get ready for the second half now underway here in Kennesaw. So Highmar is out after 45 minutes.
Yeah, it looks like Centeno's going to be playing as the right wing back. David Mejia has come over to the left now.
Traeger tries to get past Kavita. Centeno. Cronjali's there to defend. Robbie Mertz wants to go with the right, tries to chip it, and didn't quite get enough of a turn on it, and it goes wide. It'll be a goal kick. So your subs, we mentioned Marlin. Marlin's out after the first 45. Matthew Corcoran is now in. Corcoran, the 16-year-old, signed his first professional contract back in January. One of the top prospects in America. Joined Legion FC, played with the Dallas Texans, FC Dallas Academy. Professional debut at North Texas back in the 2021 season. So at the age of 16, Matthew Corcoran wearing 17. So 16 years old, wearing 17 for Birmingham here in the second 45. And Highmar is gone after the first 45. Once again, keeping an eye on the match in Tulsa on the weekend as well. So Centeno is in for Highmar as we start the second half.
Yeah, Highmar on that yellow card as well. So I think that may have been factoring in, as well as those tired legs. I think both teams wanting to freshen it up. But yeah, two 16-year-olds on the field now, no? With
Noah Cobb and Matthew Corcoran, two 16-year-olds. Asiadu. Morales tried to close up space. Birmingham calling for a handball. They got it. Penalty. Robbie Mertz wants to talk to Deshaun Beard about it. Let's take a look. Asiadu right there, the left hand.
Doesn't look like he's done it on purpose, but his arm is slightly away from the body, and you can see why the referee has given that.
So it looks like, with the yellow card going to Efren Morales as well, looks like Bruno Lapa will be there to take the penalty for Birmingham Legion. So Lapa and Justin Garces. Can Birmingham extend the lead to 2? No! Saved, but poked back in by Lapa after the initial shot was saved by Justin Garces. 2-0 to the visitors.
Great initial save there from Justin Garces, but Lapa following up and no missing from there. Garces might be a bit disappointed he didn't push it away from goal, but I think from the penalty spot, I mean, as a goalkeeper, you're trying to get something on it. You're trying to get anything on it, to be honest. Another goal at the start of the half against Atlanta United 2s.
Bruno Lapa, his first goal of the year. Garces guessed correctly, but Lapa charged in and put it into the back of the net for the second goal for Birmingham on the night. And so the mountain to climb for the 2s just got that much larger.
I thought Efrain Morales he was really good in that first half. He'll be disappointed. It's just one of those that there's not much you can do about it, but we know with the way the rules are these days that if your hand is away from your body, then it's likely to be given against you.
Fortune trying to get away from Corcoran, finally does. Through ball looking for Traeger, perfect weight. Traeger tried to get it to Conway, and in the way was Craniale. Enzo Martinez going big switch right to left. Chested down, Asiadu. Past Lapa center circle. Enzo Martinez gains it back. And Johnny Dean for Birmingham. Enzo tried to move it forward with the left. Tiente was there to defend. Give to a Johnny Fortune. Jackson Conway. Traeger. David Mejia. Mejia looking far post. Ryan James is there, and he'll just send it out over the end line. Corner kick for Atlanta United 2.
Tell you what, that was a great crossover from David Mejia right to the back post, whipped in with some speed as well. So fortunately no one was there attacking it at the back post.
Darwin Mateus will take for Atlanta United 2. Corcoran and Asiadu are there to keep an eye on both Mateus and Robbie Mertz. Low liner inside the 6. Both teams clamoring for it, and it's going to be goal kick for Birmingham.
Bit of a switch tactically at halftime from the Birmingham Legion as well, with Enzo Martinez now on the right wing and Asiadu on the left.
Corcoran chased by Robbie Mertz. Finds Asiadu on the left. Waits for the third hop to calm it down. Noah Cobb defending. Ryan James sprinted past. Ended up with eventual possession. Erivo back to Asiadu at top of the arc. Over to Enzo. Enzo looking far post. Too high for Horvat. Wind up and fire through the goal mouth. Another chance for James. Ryan James chasing after his first goal of the year. Didn't miss it by much.
Very close to that. I think Justin Garces was more of a hope than anything that I wasn't going to nestle in the bottom corner.
Mertz charges at Asiadu. Pulls it back to Noah Cobb, all the way over to a Johnny Fortune. Tiente. Flag is up as David Mejia was chasing after it. And Mejia is wondering, he thought he was onside and had held back enough.
Massive challenge here for Atlanta United 2s now, obviously 2-0 behind. It's not like they have been in threatening positions. Really important that they can get a goal in the next 10-15 minutes if they want to rescue something from this game against a defence that doesn't concede many goals. I think it's the second best defence in the league this season.
They don't score a lot of goals either, and that's been the rub for Birmingham this season. One of the top defenses in the East, with Matt Van Okel between the sticks, but they haven't scored a lot either. They've got the one goal on the board here in the first half, one goal in the second, so they're up 2-0. as we're late in the 53rd minute here in Kennesaw. Thanks for hanging out with us, accessing us however you are doing so. Alongside Tom Marshall, John Nelson here in Kennesaw. David Mejia looking top of the 6th. Croniale gets it to Enzo Martinez. Martinez tries to evade trouble, found Arivo. Arivo working down the right-hand side over Morales and Horvat. And Johnny Fortune gets it all the way back to Garces.
It's those little things, I think, with the Johnny Fortune, the way he tracked that runner there. It's the subtle things that he does in his game, the things that, you know, not necessarily the assists or the key pass. It's the just breaking up play. It's being there in the right time, in the right place.
Tiente looking for Mateus. Nice idea there. And Jackson Conway off the post. Right at the intersection of the crossbar and the post, upper 90 right. That close to the first goal on the board. Arivo blew a tire. And they're going to call a foul. Looks like they're going to call a foul on a Johnny Fortune. Jackson Conway that close.
That would have been a contender for USL Goal of the Week if that would have gone in.
Let's take another look at it. Mateus, turn, fire, and right off of the crossbar, right there at the intersection.
It's that nonchalant, lofted pass over, and Jackson Conway does absolutely everything right, apart from maybe one or two feet lower with the shot.
Corcoran leaves for Arivo. Martinez plays it back to Croniale. Kavita, Corcoran, ended up with Centeno briefly. Traeger jousting with Corcoran, trying to get it away from him and Asiadu. Now here comes the pressure for Atlanta United too. Asiadu has Arivo to his right. That's where he'll go. Wanted some spacing with Enzo and Johnny Dean. Zachary Arivo. Center circle to Corcoran. Asiadu. And Corcoran again. Corcoran plays to Enzo Martinez. Pushed forward to Johnny Dean toward the top of the 6th, up into the air. Centeno will get there before Lapa does. Sent down the right, but back to Birmingham, and they'll reset. And just inside center line, Kavita, Arivo. And here comes a Johnny Fortune again trying to disrupt. Croniale, Arivo, and he's got plenty of room. Tiente nicely done there. But Birmingham will gain possession back that much faster. Enzo Martinez turns away from just outside the 18. David Mejia defends, pokes it away. It'll be a throw for Birmingham here, early minute 57. Enzo keeps it in, going over David Mejia to do it. Johnny Dean to Arivo. Birmingham's chasing after a third. Enzo just outside the 6. And Efren Morales
been solid in those that timing in the tackle. Efren Morales has been really good tonight. Obviously unlucky with the penalty, but in general the timing in the tackle and being in the right place at the right time has been good.
Enzo Martinez trying to get past Tristan Traeger. Into the middle and Corcoran. Croniale. Enzo looking for Johnny Dean. David Mejia's there. Centeno on the short hop. Has to play it all the way back to Justin Garces. Gets away from Horvat. Looking for Conway. And Efren Morales will get it just before Garces could bend down to grab. Give to Tiente. Now remember, Tiente's only been in 3 matches, 16 minutes total. So Tiente starting from absolute beginning tonight. Interesting to see what his leash is. Deflected. Flag is down. Traeger can't quite control it. Spangenberg spills it. Regrouping quickly. Conway with the sliding chance, and it goes almost off the scoreboard.
Once again, Atlanta United 2's close there. Tristan Traeger almost rounded the keeper, so close.
Johnny Fortune gains possession back for Atlanta United 2. Traeger tries to get there with the right. Spangenberg will get there first. He'll finally pick it up. And Spangenberg calming things down here early in the 59th with 30 to go. Atlanta United 2 still pushing.
A little bit of a battle of attrition now in terms of whose fitness levels. Obviously the heat will have sapped it out over the first almost an hour of the game now. So I think we're going to see some mistakes, and we've seen Atlanta United 2's create a couple of decent chances in the last 10 minutes.
Only 3 position players left for Birmingham Legion to make any kind of a substitution. You've got Matt Van Oekel, second keeper tonight for Spangenberg, getting the rare start. You've got Prosper Kassim, Grayson DuPont, Juan Aguedello. That's it. And it looks like we're going to see Juan Aguedello in short order for Eddie Horvat. Mejia from Mertz toward the top of the 6. Kavita was there, found Bruno Lapa. Will slow things down. Birmingham content to walk it forward up with a 2-0 lead.
You can see Martinez kind of floating in that space. David Mejia's pushing forward. He's putting some really nice crosses so far, but Enzo Martinez is just hanging around there, waiting for the transition and to get his team into the attacking third.
Drop ball as it hit Deshun Beard with Atlanta United and Birmingham. So Corniale goes back to Kavita. And they'll go back and forth. Corniale looking for big switch to Asiadu, and he finds him. Heavy touch but controlled. Noah Cobb was there. Nicely done. And they're going to call a foul on Asiadu, and it looks like this will be the substitution of Aguedello in for Eddie Horvat with 30 to go.
It's not bad when you can bring a 29-year-old former U.S. international on at this point of the game, 60 minutes in.
Well, and the way that Jay Heaps and Tom Sohn have built this franchise, is anybody with connections to New England Revolution, you know, it's almost like Revs South with how things are in Birmingham with what they've been building. So Eddie Horvat is done after 60. Juan Aguedello comes in. Aguedello making his 12th appearance on the season, 2 goals and an assist. And it looks like Luke Brennan is now in, and he will be replacing David Mejia.
Interesting. I think that Mejia actually had quite a good game. I think that that'll be just more for the legs, and Brennan makes some really good runs in behind as well.
Well, once again, we got to keep in mind that match in Tulsa coming up this weekend. 5 matches, 14 days. Great ball. Traeger tracking it down, pulls it away from Corniale. Give to Conway. Conway wants to set up the left. Spangenberg is there.
Another effort there from Jackson Conway, left-footed. Kind of swung in it a little bit, hoped it would end up in the corner, but ended up straight at the goalkeeper.
Spangenberg looking for Aguedello, who won the first ball. Tiente now. Give to Luke Brennan for his first touch.
I think you'll see from Aguedello much more mobile striker than Horvat was. Horvat much better with his back to goal. Aguedello is going to, I think, run the lines a little bit more and cause problems that way.
Yeah, we're always keeping in mind the substitutions with Jack Collison, with Highmar, with the yellow, with David Mejia leaving now after 60 minutes. You're keeping that match in. There's a look at Luke Brennan calling for it on the big switch, and he's got space if he can calm it down. Nice first touch there to keep it away from Enzo Martinez. Looking for Traeger. Corniale was there first. It'll be a throw for Atlanta United 2, but it's that 5th match in 14 days that we keep talking about with Tulsa, another division opponent that's above you in the standings where you can make a little room, you can close the gaps a little bit if you're Atlanta United 2.
For sure. It's a tough balance. You know, but with two goals down here, do you continue to go for it? I think, of course, you do. But at the same time, it's in the back of your mind. I mean, three road trips coming up as well.
4 of your next 5. There's your final on the board. Pittsburgh tonight over Indy 11 by the score of 1-0. That game played at Highmark tonight.
I think for Atlanta United 2s and Jack Collinson, it's been a difficult season because of what's happened for Atlanta United. I mean, the injury situation, the way that some players have been moved up. Aidan McFadden's up there now, starting games in MLS.
Yep.
Whereas, you know, if Atlanta United hadn't been hit by injuries like they had, then Aidan McFadden would be up there, out here tonight, providing some experience.
Intercepted by Tiente. You see the Detroit-Hartford score. Detroit City up in the top 5 in the East. Traeger tried to get there before Spangenberg could send it down the middle of the pitch. Push in the back by Corcoran. Restarted quickly by Mertz. Johnny Fortune finds some space. He's got Conway to his left. Johnny Fortune winds up and he misses the upper 90. Once again, taking those chances that you were talking about, trying to challenge Spangenberg from distance because of the lack of reps that he's had.
For sure, and I think Fortune as well, just running and running. He's just not stopped. But Atlanta United 2 still creating here. I mean, I think they're running in behind. I think bringing Brennan on as well. Traeger still seems to have a bit of fuel in the tank to make those runs. And these Birmingham Legion centre-backs, they don't seem very comfortable when there's runners in behind.
Tiente finds Conway. He's got reinforcements to his right in Eric Centeno. Centeno, step over. Tries to get past James, chipped in the 6, header in! How about that for Luke Brennan? 5-9 up in the air, and it's 2-1 just like that, 25 to go.
Game on, John. Game on now. What a great ball over the top there. Eric Centeno with a couple of step overs, makes a bit of space for himself, chips the ball into the area, and Luke Brennan rises higher, heads it in.
Got there ahead of Johnny Dean. And Luke Brennan with a goal on the board.
Right in between the defenders as well.
First goal for Luke Brennan. And quoting Tom Marshall, game on. Sending it long, looking for Aguedello. Morales is there. Brennan comes back to defend Enzo Martinez to gain possession. Aguedello stands him up. Fans want a foul, don't get it. Lapa stood up by Mertz, doesn't get a whole lot on it. Justin Garces is there.
I think it's one defining thing we've seen in the last few games for this Atlanta United team, aside from the tactics and stuff like that, and then be able to play a more consistent formation. It's the character, I think. I think we saw after that Hartford defeat, I think Jack Collinson had a long and stern.
Flag down, Traeger around Spangenberg, and we're tied! Tristan Traeger does it again. 2 goals in just as many minutes, and it was 2-0. It was 2-1. It's now 2-2.
I think we talk about character. Tristan Traeger tried to go around the keeper early in the game. He's had 1 or 2 sniffs at goal, and this time he makes absolutely no mistake. Clinical finish. And how many is that, John, now for him in the last 3 games?
6 on the season, 5 in the last 3.
5 in the last 3,
and the
absolutely.
ball from Robbie Mertz. Once again, Mertz and Traeger combining, and the perfect placement from the captain. Then the left, past Spangenberg, past Kavita.
He's a really good finish, and I tell you what, if it was game on before, then now it certainly is.
I think it's in all caps with an exclamation point now, where it might have been just a statement. It's now an imperative. Game on with 22 to go. Not a whole lot of options for Birmingham here.
exactly what we were saying though, John, just before that attack and that goal. If there's been one defining feature, it has been that character.
Yeah.
We saw the Hartford defeat, and I think it hurt the players. I think it hurt Jack Collinson, and we've seen this Atlanta United 2 team bounce back with wins against Charleston, and then that draw against El Paso, and now tonight from 2-0 be down to 2-2.
Prosper Kasim now in for the final 22 as he replaces Bruno Lapa. There's 10 in red. So the only position player left for Birmingham tonight is Grayson DuPont in the midfield. 3 subs have been made. Atlanta United 2's bench is deeper for this final 22. Still available, Bryce Washington, Nicholas Firmino, Brendan Lamb, Johnny Viall.
Birmingham Legion, Enzo Martinez, the Uruguayan, has gone back to the left wing where he started the game, and it looks like a 4-3-3 now.
Darwin Mateus chasing after Spangenberg as he was trying to get it up the right to Prosper Kasim. Johnny Dean skied above Luke Brennan. Last touch by Asiadu. It'll be a throw for Atlanta United 2. Mertz, big switch. Couldn't quite control it. Centeno took a big hop. Here comes Enzo Martinez. Thought about the release to Prosper Kasim. Did it the second time through from center circle. Left for Johnny Dean. Arivo. Dean wanted to cut inside the area. Couldn't quite hook up with Arivo. So back to Kasim and all the way over to the left and Ryan James. Aguedello. Noah Cobb marking him. Centeno was there to close up space. Ends up with James. Aguedello. Into the middle, Prosper Kasim looking for Asiadu. Lost possession temporarily. Got it back. Scoops it toward the top of the box. Nobody there except Tristan Traeger. Can he track it down before it goes out? Yes, he can. Last touch by Aguedello. Stayed in with the spin. And you're going to get a foul there on Fenwell Kavita. And a card for the trouble, perhaps? Or Deshaun Beard's just going to have everybody try to calm down a little bit.
You can feel the tension
Jack
now.
Collison wants a card. He definitely wants a card for that.
Yeah, you can feel the tension now. I mean, from 2-0 down to 2-2, I thought that was Birmingham Legion's best spell of possession for probably in the second half, to be honest.
Jack Collison there with the fourth official, Amin Hadzic, trying to get an explanation. Didn't get one to his satisfaction. But here in the 72nd minute, Atlanta United 2 was down 2. Now they're not down 2. Honors even at 2. Luke Brennan. Tiente. Fortune. Asiadu and Kasim are there, but here's Robbie Mertz to regain possession for Atlanta United 2.
Really well read there by Robbie Mertz. Sniffed out the danger, and he was right there with a tackle.
Morales. Give to Centeno on the big switch. Enzo Martinez was lurking. Back to Noah Cobb.
There's a man over on this left side if Atlanta United 2 can switch the ball quickly.
Luke Brennan calling for it. And there's Johnny Dean closing up space on Luke Brennan, so coming back up the right-hand side. Jackson Conway tried to get it to Centeno. Birmingham now in possession. Corcoran. Leave for Asiadu. Prosper Kasim. Toward the top of the box. Headed out by Atlanta United 2. Centeno. Aguedello shadowing. Will be a throw for the twos here halfway through the 73rd. So short of Grayson DuPont, who's only played in 2 matches for the sum total of 4 minutes, this is going to be it for Cano Smith in Birmingham tonight. United 2 with more options if Jack Collison wants to go that way. Morales up the middle. Efren Morales up the middle. Give to Jackson Conway. He's got Centeno to his right. That's where he goes. Ryan James is marking. Step over again. Ryan James steps in the way. It'll be last touch by Centeno, and it goes over to Birmingham on a throw.
Pace of the game seems to have just slowed down a little bit since that equaliser. I feel like neither team wants to make that mistake, knowing that the 3 points could be on the line here.
Kavita sends it up the elevator shaft. Darwin Mateus, nice first touch. He couldn't keep the handle on it. Arivo gets away from Brennan. Brennan with the tug on the jersey once and twice. Arivo's got a head of speed cycling through the gears. And he gets Aguedello in the clear just inside the 18, but Morales is there to stand him up. Robbie Mertz is there, but the rocket from Zachary Arivo, and it's 3-2 just like that.
Disappointing for Atlanta United 2's. Birmingham Legion, though, after seeing a 2-goal lead disappear, now back in front. What a strike as well.
Here's Aguedello.
Looked like Efrain Morales has kind of sniffed out, put out the danger there, but Aero, I think, has been one of the best players tonight. I think not just for that goal, but in general terms, I think he's covered a lot of ground in midfield, used the ball really well, and he's got a reward there with his goal.
Space was there for Arivo, and he hammered it home for the third goal on the board, his first of the season. And so now we're back to Atlanta United 2 having to come back from a goal down with 15 to go. And the legs are there for Atlanta United 2 on the bench for Jack Collison if he so chooses. He's got speed in Johnny Viall. Nicholas Firmino's available as well. But the relationship that we've seen between Mertz and Tristan Traeger. Last touch by Kassim, throw by Brennan. Tiente, who's done well in his first start for Atlanta United 2.
Definitely grown into the game. Tiente looks a lot more comfortable now than in those first 10, 15, 20 minutes. Which, you know, to be fair to him, he is playing a position that he's not used to, so I think that would have been expected.
Conway. Corniale stops him, so Darwin Mateus looking for Brennan. Brennan looked over his shoulder. Traeger was there. Birmingham will clear. Aguedello and Tiente, a lot of hand fighting, and they're going to say Aguedello for the foul.
Sure, Jack Collins will be thinking long and hard now. Will it be Vial to add a little bit
more pace to the pace?
Yeah, a little bit of creativity. Not that there isn't any right now with Darwin Mateos, but you know, those fresh legs, quick feet.
Fortune finds Brennan. Finally under control. Johnny Dean is there for Birmingham. Blocked up into the air by Johnny Dean. Hops over both Dean and Brennan. Dean will just fire it away. Aguedello keeps it in. Nicely done there. Tiente marking him. Back to Prosper Kassim. Now up the middle, Anderson Asiadu. Asiadu trying to get it to Enzo Martinez. Far too much on that. Will be a throw for Atlanta United 2 coming up here starting the 78th minute. 2 goals on the board for Birmingham. One by Enzo Martinez in the 9th. Bruno Lapa followed up his own missed penalty or saved penalty. Hammered it home for 2-0. Then 2 goals in about 2 minutes. Luke Brennan, Tristan Traeger. We go from 2-0 to 2-2. And here's Johnny Viall. That's the night for Darwin Mateus. So Jonathan Viall coming in now in the 78th. Zachary Arivo 3 minutes ago made it 3-2. So Atlanta United 2 down 2, came back to tie it at 2. Arivo made it 3-2, and that's where we are with 12 plus to go.
I think the swap, Darwin Mateos off for Vial, straight like for like, I think. Vial will just float him the space behind Traeger and Jackson Conway.
Aguedello. Nice direction to find Prosper Kassim. Kavita. Vial chasing to Corcoran. Craniale finds Kassim. Johnny Dean looking center circle. Noah Cobb was there first instead of Enzo Martinez. Vial's first touch. Martinez chasing from behind. Out to the right. Once again, Eric Centeno on Ryan James. James giving a little bit of space. Poked into Vial. First touch. Tries to get around Fenwell Kavita, and that's a tall order. Vial can't shake Kavita. Kavita pokes it away. And a foul on Johnny Vial.
$11 minutes to go here. Been another good game, John, no?
Yeah.
We saw on Saturday a 2-2. Couldn't really predict which way it was going to go.
Yeah.
And once again tonight, I feel like all results are still on the table.
Let's take a peek at the whistle on Jonathan Vial.
Bit of a size difference there.
Yes. That is without question a size difference. Spangenberg looking for Aguedello. Noah Cobb got there first. Centeno to Noah Cobb. Traeger chests it down, looking for Mertz. Birmingham looking for Enzo Martinez. After 3 touches, ball finally hits the turf. Too much for Aguedello. Johnny Fortune will get there.
At the risk of repeating myself here, I do find it pretty amazing how much ground that Fortune has covered tonight.
Good ball from Tiente to Jackson Conway. Craniale was there into the 6, just ahead of Tristan Traeger.
Little example there of the chemistry. I think that those two are starting to strike up. We can't forget that it's early days that these two have been playing together.
Here's another look. That's what Trevor Spangenberg was looking at as Jackson Conway just had it ahead of Tristan Traeger.
Almost a great ball that from Jackson Conway.
Morales. James looking for Aguedello. Aguedello dumps Noah Cobb. Vial tried to get there ahead of Corcoran. Land United 2 touches at last. It'll be a throw for Birmingham Legion. $10 minutes plus any time added here. Early 82nd minute. 5 goals between these two. Enzo Martinez winds, and it was deflected. Looks like it's going to be a corner for Birmingham Legion. In this matchup, in its history, 4 goals, 5 goals, 1 goal twice, 4 goals, 4 goals, 4 goals. So this being a 5-goal match is about par for the course with these two.
Yeah, and there's still time here. I'll be absolutely no surprise if there's more goals here. Although the Legion naturally taking the time over set pieces now.
Enzo Martinez in swinger with the right. Garces is there easily. Enzo tried to go Olympico there for a second, it looked like.
Enzo looks a little bit tired out there as well now. I think he wanted it wrapping up.
Mertz, turnover, Corcoran. Give to Enzo Martinez, stepping forward. There was Noah Cobb to defend. 2's in possession with Tony Tiente. Got Brennan to his left. Leaves for a Johnny Fortune. Back to Morales. Robbie Mertz. Tiente. Fortune. Brennan calling for it off his right shoulder, forward down the left. Went back to Tiente instead. Tiente, Enzo Martinez got in the way. Robbie Mertz reclaimed. Prosper Kassim, Anderson Asiadu now for Birmingham. Asiadu finds Aguedello. Morales backtracking. Quickly, nicely done there by a Johnny Fortune to dispossess.
That's exactly what Birmingham Legion are looking for now, sat in a really low block, very little space between the lines, but then as soon as they do turn over the ball, they're looking for those rapid forwards to get in behind.
Now here comes Nicholas Firmino. Firmino now in for Tristan Traeger. Bryce Washington now coming in. So Traeger's day is done after 84. So Firmino is now in. Bryce Washington is now in. And that'll do it for Tiente after 83 plus in his first start. So what do you think of Tiente out of the blocks tonight?
I thought after the first 15-20 minutes, he grew in confidence, and in the end he played okay. I think that, considering that he's not had a lot of experience or any experience really at this level, and considering that he was playing in a position that he's not naturally accustomed to, I think he did fine.
Bryce Washington trying to work his way back from injury. He's on the right-hand side. Noah Cobb shifting to the left. Possession sticks with Atlanta United 2.
Looks like Nick Firmino is going to be playing up front. A like-for-like replacement for Traeger. Usually we see him in the midfield there, but now up front alongside Jackson Conway.
5.5 plus any other added time to go here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. Vial tries to get away from Arivo. He gets away from Corcoran, tries to get it forward. Arivo dispossesses nicely. Prosper Kassim tries to get away from all of the Atlanta United 2 players buzzing around him, specifically Firmino and Vial.
Arivo once again superb there, breaking up the play.
Good first touch, Johnny Dean. Luke Brennan on a full sprint in toward the top of the 6. Possession was there for Morales. Aguedello ended up in the backwash with a chance. And Morales ended up getting it a second time. Here come the 2s. Game is stretched. Robbie Mertz. Vial wiped out by Arivo. Conway. A lot of heat on it, but it's calmed down by Firmino.
Game stretched now, and I think that, to be honest, suits Atlanta United 2s.
Vial, Asiadu comes to meet him. Close to the elbow, heavy touch. Atlanta United 2 wanted to whistle for a handball, didn't get it. Lost possession. Jack Collison really animated on the sidelines, looking for that same whistle. Wondering where it was when it didn't show up. Aguedello looking for Enzo Martinez. You're going to get a foul on Aguedello. Here's another look at it. Looks like it went off the chest of Asiadu.
Yeah, chest to them, maybe the end. It's one of them. Sometimes
Yeah.
you get them, sometimes you don't. Probably more frustrating for Jack Collinson that it was the handball that led to the penalty.
Conway on
For
the
Legion
spin,
second.
tried to gain possession, couldn't do it, and it's going to go back to Johnny Dean for a throw for Legion. 3.5 minutes to go as Atlanta United 2 is chasing an equalizer here. Dean, Croniale, Arivo looking for Enzo Martinez. Bryce Washington with it now. To Johnny Fortune. Fortune looking inside the right channel, trying to chase it down. It was Eric Centeno. Spangenberg will get there first.
Perhaps needed a little bit more patience there with the build-up. Time running out. You can tell Birmingham Legion, both teams are tired. But, maybe a little bit of patience, open them up.
Morales gets there before Aguedello does. Asiadu gets there for the second ball. Robbie Mertz comes down with it. Give to a Johnny Fortune pass, Prosper Kassim. Flag stays down. Chance for Atlanta United 2. Sharp angle and a save by Spangenberg on Nicholas Firmino. It's going to be a corner for the 2s.
That's what we were just talking about. Robbie Mertz there, you saw he just took a second on the ball, spread it wide to Fortune, and then Fortune plays that beautiful pass into the channel. And Firmino, the angle was very tight, but fair play Spangenberg there. He was in the right position to force a corner, but big chance now for Atlanta United 2s to get everyone forward, and Robbie Mertz needs to put in a good cross here.
Yellow card given to Matthew Corcoran, putting in substantive minutes. Backs off his initial pressure. Enzo Martinez keeping an eye on Johnny Viall. Toward the top of the 6. Brennan tried to get there before Enzo Martinez did, but the 2s regained possession. Once again, Robbie Mertz wide right. Looking for Viall. Viall pulls it back on Corcoran. One-on-one matchup. Tried to go through the gate. Aguedello was there to back him up.
Viall maybe overthought that a little bit. He got into the prime assist position there, and instead of just firing it across, maybe causing some mayhem within the 6-yard box, he was looking for that perfect pass.
Firmino to a Johnny Fortune. Looking far post, didn't get a whole lot on it. Cornale heads it away, and here comes Anderson Asiadu. Cobb closed the space, give to Aguedello, back to Asiadu. He's got Enzo Martinez to his right. Asiadu slows down his pace, give to Enzo, cuts it back at the elbow and back to AA. Into the middle, Prosper Kasim. Sweeps it to the left, and James. Viall is there. 30 seconds left plus any other added time. It'll be interesting to see how much time is put on the board. James plowed into Viall, and they call a foul on Viall. So we had 5 minutes in the first 45. A lot of that was the hydration break. With the substitutions and everything that we've seen here in the second half. Let's see what Amin Hadzic will put up on the board. In with the left. Aguedello heads it down, hits a couple of Atlanta United 2 players, and cleared. It'll be a throw. 6 minutes added as Atlanta United 2 is chasing after an equalizer, but they've got to get possession first. Anderson Asiadu will throw, but not in any great deal of hurry. He'll leave it for Johnny Dean. Finally thrown in. Aguedello was double teamed, and here comes Atlanta United 2. Brennan. Firmino. Conway, and a foul on Prosper Kasim.
Well worked there from Atlanta United 2, building out from the back, not rushing it.
Conway, in the eyes of Deshaun Beard, did rush it and was probably about 5 to 7 yards further forward than he should have been in the eyes of the center ref. So take 2. Mertz, pestered by Aguedello. Back to Morales and Noah Cobb. Firmino. Morales. Bryce Washington. Johnny Viall tries to get past James, and a foul on James. Set piece opportunity here for Atlanta United 2 with about 4.5 to go.
Thought he did really well there, VL. Such quick feet. Managed to win the free kick. And a big chance now for Atlanta United 2's Robbie Mertz with another chance to get the ball in the box.
Enzo keeping an eye on Robbie Mertz. A lot of the tall bodies for Atlanta United 2 toward the top of the 6th. Headed in! Climbing the ladder, Nicholas Firmino at 90 plus 2, and we're tied at 3.
It's a massive goal for this young team. Rush straight to get the ball as well. They want to kick off. They want to try and get that winner now. Great ball in from Robbie Mertz.
We've been saying that a lot this year. Take another look at it.
And that's a superbly timed header by Nick Firmino. Really well done by the Brazilian-born midfielder.
Third on the year for Firmino. The assist machine, otherwise known as Robbie Mertz, puts another one under the A column. And here comes Legion again. Johnny Dean cuts it inside past Brennan. Wants to send it in, charging, and just missing the chance was Grayson DuPont, the last sub for Birmingham on the night. In for Ryan James here at 90+3.
Away from getting something on it there.
Noah Cobb on the charge. A lot of heavy legs for Birmingham. Conway couldn't control it. They're going to call a foul on Firmino. Corcoran better back that up about 10 yards. Craniale, looking down the middle, found Noah Cobb first. Too much heat on it to connect with Brennan, and it's going to be a throw. So you're looking at about 2 minutes to go, plus any other discretionary time added after the goal by Deshaun Beard. 6-goal thriller here in Kennesaw. Bryce Washington heads it out of the area. Firmino tracking Prosper Kasim, but it'll stick with Legion. DuPont back to Fenwell Kavita. Here comes the pressure from Atlanta United 2. Arivo through center circle. Aguedello back to Corcoran. Vial chasing. Aguedello, that tall presence. Morales was there to meet him. Johnny Dean. Arivo. Vial keeping an eye on Arivo. Corcoran with the left. Aguedello gets around Mertz. Johnny Fortune got in the way with his chest, but it stays with DuPont and Birmingham. Trying to get past Eric Centeno. They're going to say it was last touched by Birmingham. Under a minute. Connor Smith looking at that watch. Looks like one more chance here for Atlanta United 2. Noah Cobb with about a minute to go. Into the middle, over Jackson Conway. Kasim settles, turns to his right. He's got Dean to his right. Through Dean to Anderson Asiadu. At the elbow, give to Johnny Dean toward the top of the 6. Aguedello with the chance. And there was Bryce Washington to interrupt it. One last run. Johnny Vial cuts it inside. Arivo in the way. And they're going to call Vial. Quickly, Kavita. Johnny Dean. We're at 6 minutes. Asiadu slides. Mertz tries to slide through. Interrupts that particular plan. Vial sends it away. It's going to stick with Birmingham.
And in the midst of all that, we'll talk about the goals after the game, but Bryce Washington with a key challenge there.
And that will do it. And a lot of Atlanta United 2 bodies on the grass here at Fifth Third, and you got a lot of hands on knees. A 6-goal thriller with Atlanta United 2 and Birmingham Legion. I told you when the night started, welcome to rivalry, and that's what you got.
What a game again. I think that's now, 17 goals in Atlanta United 2's last 3 games. The team to watch right now, I think, in USL in terms of entertainment value. But yeah, again, the character coming back 3 times. Well, from 2-0 down and then from 3-2. But yeah, what a game. And Birmingham Legion don't usually have a lot of games when they play. A lot of goals, sorry, but tonight we've seen 6, and yeah, what a great game.
We'll put a bow on it when we come back. Shared results, shared points. Everybody leaves with a point from Fifth Third. The 2s and Legion tie at 3. We'll come back to close it all out right after this.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truist, together for better.
You wouldn't put your team on the same field as the pros. So why would you take them to the same doctor? From growth plates to emotional needs, teens are different than adult athletes. Take them where they're treated that way.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare. To give you a better, seamless, more unified experience. So you can simply access and manage your care all in one place. With tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime. And even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont. Real change lives here.
BB&T and SunTrust are now truest, together for better.
Crazy night here at Fifth Third, and we'll put a bow on it. Atlanta United 2 and Birmingham Legion tie at 3. Birmingham had a 2-0 lead. We'll look at the highlights in just a little bit. And Atlanta United comes back to tie it at 2. Birmingham goes 3-2, ties at 3. Man of the match, courtesy of our friends at Piedmont Orthopedics, Johnny Fortune.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to know how many miles he got through tonight. But
17,000 miles for Johnny Fortune tonight.
He seemed to be everywhere. An athletic central midfielder. Got some attacking threat. He put a really nice ball there through in the second half, and then at the same time, a defensive effort, being in the right place at the right time. So it was a great performance from Fortune tonight.
All right, let's take a look at the final stats. And these are the final match stats. This is what we see. What do you think we learned about tonight?
I think we learned that despite the age difference between these two teams, it was a fairly even game. You can see that Atlanta United had the ball, they had more of the ball, they wanted to play in a more possession football, but Birmingham Legion are good at what they do, which is hit on transition and make it really difficult for other teams, usually to score, but obviously tonight Atlanta United 2's found a way.
It was a night of firsts for Atlanta United too, but let's take a look at schedules before we go. Birmingham has to leave here. They probably go back home, go play Charleston, then they're at Sacramento, which is a pack a lunch, a dinner, and a midnight snack trip, flying across the country. Home with Tulsa, home with Loudoun, then they go to Hartford. That's Birmingham coming up. Now it gets tough for Atlanta United too on the flip side of this. You look at Atlanta United's next 5, and frankly, it's their next 6. After this, 5 of their next 6 are on the road. 4 of them are on that page.
Yeah, for sure. It's difficult, especially difficult after this run. They've played so many games in such a short space of time. But this is what it's all about. This is what this league's about. And for these young players, it's absolutely vital experience that you just can't buy.
And that return game at the bottom of the page, August the 6th against Birmingham Legion. That one will be fun. Enzo Martinez in the 9th. Bruno Lapa follows up his own PK that was saved. It was 2-0. Then here comes Atlanta United 2 charging. Night of firsts. Luke Brennan gets his first goal. This is not a first. Robbie Mertz connecting with Tristan Traeger. That tied it at 2. Zachary Arivo made it 3-2. And then what happened after the hammer? Nicholas Firmino gives Atlanta United 2, once again, another chance. Shared results from the fraction. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.